All right, welcome back to our continuing adventures on the Let's Defend platform. We are going to attempt the Royal Ransom Challenge. This is a medium on the VIP tier. Small business that sells handmade crafts online has been experiencing a surge in demand for their products, leading to an increase in online sales. However, the business owner has not paid much attention to their online security, as they believe that their small size made them an unlikely target for cybercriminals. One day, an employee at the business receives an email from what appears to be a legitimate customer, but the email contains a malicious attachment that, when opened, installs ransomware on the employee's computer. The ransomware quickly spreads through the company's network, encrypting all their important files and rendering them inaccessible. Ransomware attackers demand a large sum of money in exchange for the decryption key needed to unlock the company's files. The business owner realizes that they do not have proper backups of their data and cannot afford to pay the ransom. As a result, the business is forced to shut down, causing financial loss and damage to their reputation. So help us to reverse the ransomware and to try to answer the next questions. So it looks like we're going to be given a Windows machine in the... Oh, okay, a little bit different. So everything on the desktop again, but instead of, what was it, challenge files, I think was the folder name, it's Royal Ransomware and then sample. And made by Malgamy12. So what do we have? Oh, gotta go back through and confirm that we're human. Find all the chairs. Find all the chairs. I mean, I don't even know what the hell that is. I mean, I wouldn't want to sit in that since it's concave. You just kind of slide in. I'm assuming maybe a footrest? I don't know. We'll try it and see. Because, I mean, that's a bucket. Huh. Okay, apparently I can't identify all the chairs. Okay, so back to the questions. What's the SHA-256 hash of the sample? So that'll be simple with any number of tools we can go through and do. Since it'll be Windows, their recommendation is loaded virus total, use detected easy, PowerShell get dash file hash command will sit there and render that out for you. What is the name of this test string that is encrypted by the public key in the thread pool test encrypt function? What is the first 10 characters of the public key used in the process of encryption? What is the argument used by ransomware to stop the virtual machine? What is the argument that the ransomware used to it in virtual machine only? What is the onion link that's used by the ransomware? What is the mode of AES operation that is used by the ransomware? Some more stuff we're just going to have to basically just start plowing through. So I guess while we're waiting on that, what do we have on the Royal Ransomware? Because I'm assuming that's obviously what we're going to be stuck with. I mean, unless the organization itself is called Royal, and ransomware is obviously what the story tells us they got. Oh, so let's see. We got stuff from the CISA. We got BlackBerry, Cyber Palo Alto. So let's see. Why we wait? It's going. It's just taking a second. Tick tock, tick tock, tick tock. Yeah, so this is one of those bad situations where backups were never done. And who knows, maybe they, since they were a small business, they just decided to rely on Windows Defender. So this is what, Cyber Reasons analysis on it? So let's see. Ransomware group emerged in early 2022, gained momentum middle of the year. Unique approach to evade anti-ransomware defenses. Expands the concept of partial encryption, which means the ability to encrypt a predetermined portion of the file content base. It's partial encryption on a flexible percentage of encryption, which makes it more difficult, or makes detection more challenging for ransomware. Okay, so this is multi-threaded to speed it up. Instead of encrypting the whole file, it just does a portion, probably, of course, the maybe the beginning, enough to basically render it, or at least enough of it, useless. So it was probably fairly speedy way back when. That, of course, being 2 years ago. So the group was first discovered, utilized third parties such as Black Cat or Xeon, and then apparently September of 2022, so late 2022, they started to use their own. And it was the most prolific ransomware in the e-crime landscape, overtaking Lockbit for the first time in more than a year. And it will take, when executing, Royal Ransomware can take 3 arguments in its command line: a dash path, path to be encrypted, dash EP, a number that represents the percentage of the file that will be encrypted, and then dash ID, a 32-digit array. Oh, and they've got some of the nice stuff in here. Although who knows what version we're going to be playing with on this. Speaking of which, where are we at with this? We're in the low 90s. Okay, so we're getting there. What else do we have here? So let's see, using BatLoader for the infection. Infection involves dropping a Cobalt Stripe beacon as a precursor to the ransomware execution. Let's see, so they've got an ELF variant to sit there and impact Linux, so it's not just Windows, and apparently ESXi environments as well. Oh boy. So this must have been when everybody was starting to take a look more so at the VM environment. I mean, because we've reached kind of the point of, if you've got a Windows server and it's running AV, and obviously you're nesting a bunch of Windows machines inside that, that would be Hyper-V. Then everything's got scanning all the way across the board. But then obviously if you have a ESXi host, then okay, you've got your, Linux derivative as basically the core operating system, not anything that really goes into it, and then you've got all your individual VMs nestled inside of there and basically running through that. Oh, just like I think recently they've started pivoting more towards embedded devices again, routers and the like. I mean, how do you deploy AV to a non-Windows or Mac router? And of course, there's always going to be the one smartass that says, well, I just stand up Linux and I make my own router. Well, congratulations. You have a porous box. Oh, there was a podcast, and I want to say maybe late 90s, early 2000s, when I was still doing workstation server stuff before. I mean, I had the interest in security, but just hadn't had a break yet. And they introduced me to the concept of the Boris box. So just basically your plain beige computer running Linux, or at least, so think like your precursor to pfSense. Usually run by a guy named Boris. Before, US and Russia were at each other's metaphorical throats. Oh, but we're going to leave the geopolitics out of this. Am I going to have to start it all over again? Nope, apparently not. All right, so we're going to do the same thing as before. I am just going to fire up the remote desktop. Excuse me if that came across. I'm hoping it didn't. A little bit of gurgle. So either which way, I apologize, even if it didn't get picked up. Okay, so let's get into this. I know I don't have it broadcasting over. I'm still waiting for the prompt. Oops. Yes, the username should be Let's Defend, but just not with a capital E. And allow that. Okay, that's coming through right now. And there we go. We've got that up. So let's see. We got Tool, we got Royal Ransomware, and we've got Die. So this must be, yeah, well, this would have had to have been an earlier version of everything. Although I don't see, oh wait, no. Yeah, there's other files behind there. I'm like, wait, I don't see anything. Oh, not password protected either. Wait, and the sample was literally the sample. Okay. Apparently we're just going loosey-goosey with this thing. That's fine. Whatever. Okay, so for our first step is we need to get a hash of this thing. So since we have so many different options to do this, so we'll just do hash my files. We get a SHA-256. So can I, okay, copy SHA-256. Starting in Bravo 57, ending in what? 286 Charlie. All right, so we should have that copied and paste, maybe. All right, so I've got that popped in behind. I guess let's do this while we go and make the submission. We bring this up. Yes, no, we're thinking. What was there? There's not a space in front. There's not a space behind. Wow, that's just forever. Forever and a day. Well, okay then. Wait, this thing said you could do it with what now? Or use the detected easy tool. Oh, okay, yeah, there's an advanced with the version that they give you. Right? I'm looking for, okay, yeah, there's a hash section. So I guess let's see as to whether or not if this is in the same vein. So let's bring this back up. So we've got the sample plugged in to detect it easy. I hit the hash button. Except I don't think, oh, there it is. SHA-256. Bravo 57 Echo ending in 286 Charlie. Okay, yeah, we got two tools that say exactly the same thing. But for some reason, it's just kind of spinning. So I'm going to try reloading the page. Wow, there is just a massive delay here. Hang on, I'm gonna pause this. Okay, it took a little bit of time. So we were right. I don't know as to whether or not if it just coincided with me switching VPN and the like, or what. Okay, so I guess here's the question. On which side of this do I need to pull down Ghidra to sit there and actually try to work this thing? That's going to be the big question. Because unlike all the other ones, I don't see Ida. And the immunity debugger doesn't seem to kick off. And I got the distinct impression, yeah, okay. You're not gonna work, are you? Yeah, I got the distinct impression it's not gonna work. Yep, we're not going anywhere with this. Okay, well, we'll see about trying to load it up in the background, I guess, and then just try to transfer it over. I guess it's gonna depend as to how fat of a link we've got between one section and the other. And yeah, this does not seem like this is in too much of a hurry either. So I may end up just having to just pause this and wait a good long while and basically spin back up the VM. Right? I mean, there's no IDA on here like what we would typically see with the newer builds. No. Ah. So the real question is the problem connection timed out. Because I took care of it for a second and then. So are we in the same boat? So if I try to refresh the page, is it actually going to do it or is it just going to crap out? No, it'll actually refresh the page. One step forward, two steps back, maybe. Okay, another long uh take, pause, whatever. Managed to get IDA downloaded. I got Ghidra going. Right now I've got the Let's Defend sandbox up and running. IDA free is loaded and is working through the rest of the stuff. So we are looking for the test string. We should look for thread pool test underscore encrypt. Right here, void. What is the name of the test string? Is it just void? No. Oh, or is it testing RSA encryption? So does this not match? No. Or is this actually right? Is it just this? Crap. So if we believe it, it should be 4 characters. And there should be a test string. That should be 4 characters. But this is thread pool test encrypt. Searching about the test underscore encrypt function. Boy. So I guess let's find test underscore encrypt function. No, just test underscore encrypt. If we can find it. uh, test select. Test CMP. Well, that's kind of a pain. Because it's not there. I mean, all there is just the thread pool. There's not a one that's specifically just laid out as test underscore encrypt. Instead, it's thread pool : test underscore encrypt. And then there should be a main function. Main function. A ransomware note. So able to get started on this, but not able to actually do much of anything else because I am just left effectively just scratching my head. So let's try. Yeah, it would have to be because everything indicated it would be an ELF 64 when we ran it through everything else. It's sitting there putting everything through. So is there just a function in here called main? Am I that lucky to be able to sit there and find it and run with it? There is. Is this main right here? Must be, considering that's where it starts. Yeah, I've got no idea. So what's the section that wanted main? Reverse the main function and search strcmp API to find the argument used to stop. Okay, so do we have just, let's see, this should be reverse that. So let's see, str is what we're looking for. std, str, cmp. Oh, there's case cmp. strcmp. And this is strcmp near. Which doesn't tell me anything. Cripe. Because it looks like it should be a dash something or other. S1, S2. Let's see if Ghidra gives us any better with this aspect, since I'm effectively just floundering around right now. Maybe. Nope, and I can't pull it down for whatever reason. How many people have done this one? Yeah, so people have been able to go through and get this done. So the question is, I would love to know as to what the hell they ended up doing, but thread pool create. Int. Yeah, and this is why I hate these particular items, because it is such a pain in the posterior. So somewhere in here, we're supposed to figure out exactly what mode this sucker is running in. Yep, I got nothing that looks like it's actually preventing Ghidra from coming down the pipe. So yeah, I might walk away and just come back. Okay, turned on logging and hit reanalyze. And got more of the comments that I was expecting to see before. Okay, and test. And the question is, okay, where did you see test? So if we break down and start basically following, so we've got the thread pool : test underscore encrypt. We followed, I was sitting there trying to do the testing RSA encrypt. I followed the left side where it sits there, tries to hit dev random. But if we follow the green path, it drops us down so we can actually see, okay, begin RSA public key. We start getting some stuff here. We take a look down. We get offset a test, string of test. And we need the first 10 characters of the public key, which is going to be here. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Maybe. It's like, okay, well, how did you get that then? I guess would be the question, assuming that we're in the right section. So let's first test the hypothesis. MIICCAKCAG. Okay, we are right. So the question is, how do we get to that? So following again, right above test, there's a section that is dash 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 begin RSA public key. So it is spelled out once this the comment logging is turned on. And for those who might have to add this in, that's underneath options, general. Watch, now I won't be able to find it. Disassembly, upper right hand corner underneath display disassembled line parts. Auto comments. Checked it, did okay. And actually I went back underneath analysis and told it to reanalyze the program. And that started basically filling in the rest of the aspects. Okay, so we've got all that then. Now we move on to stopping the virtual machine. So that's going to force us to go back up to main and try to figure out something from there. All right, so we jump in here and we are. Excuse me. And we're looking underneath that. I'm not seeing effective compare. Okay, we've got something underneath main as we follow down the graph or the process tree. We got a stop VM, which looks like that goes to dash stop VM. And it looks like there's also a VM only, which dash VM only, dash fork, dash logs. So this looks like the different steps. So, and that's mostly just by looking around inside of all this aspect. So there's dash EP. Was that the percentages off of? Number that represents the percentage of the file that will be encrypted off of the cyber reason aspect. So I'm going to assume it's just going to be dash stop VM. Are we right? We're right. At least it's nicely named. What's the argument for the ransomware to be used on a virtual machine only? Geez. Dash VM only. Again, at least they're properly named and everything spells out. So it is underneath the, excuse me, the main function. It's just having to look at everything. What is the onion link? Check the ransomware note and read it. Which means we got to find the ransom note. So does anybody think that we're just going to get lucky and just find, like, you know, a function called ransom note? So here's ID, so that way it should be 32 characters, yeah. Double word. Well, we know it's going to generally go to an onion, so what if we just try to match or look for the word onion? Nada. And then let's just see as to whether or not if we can actually be lucky enough to get, like, ransom note. No. So it's going through and doing all this stuff. Where's I mean, you would think there would be a section here that would talk about actually dropping the damn note somewhere. Or some sort of mention of note. Resume, unwind. Well, this is all what? Still underneath main, right? So where was that? RSA key, so it's doing the things. And rand. Oh, we make headway only to sit there and basically be stuck. Well, the other aspect is thread pool create. And we're supposed to take a look inside of here for finding the mode that the RSA runs in. Let's see, P thread create. Okay, so here's a question. Is P thread create something that's in here? Yes. Stop underscore VM void. Oh, Geetra actually finished. Wow, it took forever and a day. Okay. I could be like very on or very much next to the verge of like finishing, but let's just let this do its thing. Reverse thread pool create function to check pthread underscore create, then reverse it past function for it. New thread. Consistent pthread attribute. Uh, I don't suppose that this would just, you know, tell us path, local only, network only. Okay, some various things there. We also saw that there were some other aspects specifically to target. But this is all the Windows aspect. So what about Linux variant? Fork, log, stop v. So there must have been another one that was dumped in there or something. And of course, I don't see. I was hoping that maybe there might have been like a discussion in regards to. Yeah, AES 256 doesn't talk about the mode that's used. I mean, this isn't like AESX or AES 256, is it? Okay, no, because it's usually what block or what's the other one? Time stuff for system. Looking for something to make some sort of mention of like AES. Here we go. AES CBC encrypt. Just by looking through the functions. So, how about that? Was it cipher blockchaining or something like that? CBC. Okay. All right, then last one is actually finding the damn onion address. Read random puts. Print F. Operator, open SSL, open dir. So nothing for onion. So this must be what, the VMware or ESXi variety? Exit logs for inf. Stop VM. It's like, yeah, I was just hoping there would have been like a drop note or something. Thread pool wait, thread pool wait. Unwind file. Crap. And we get down to the ass end of this, and then yeah, that doesn't help a whole heck of a lot. And then we just go right back up. So yeah, I would love to read the ransom note. Question is, how do we find it in this? Looks like Ghidra's finished. So I'm going to take a stab with that. Okay, found it. Took a while. So my whole thought process was get into the basically full breakdown of the code in one giant section there, and then take a look at what of other available ransom note samples have shown up. Don't know why Onion didn't show up, but if so Cyber Reason, they gave an example. It looks like it's mostly intact, the same. I'm going to actually be rather upset if it was basically the whole same thing. But it seems to start with hello exclamation point capital H. So I just went up to the very top of the screen, did a search text for hello, and it appeared to be able to sit there and locate the contents of the ransom note, which looks like, I mean, it grabs a bit. So we'll have to clean it up a little bit. And then the answer that they want, they do not appear to want the / after onion. So we're basically going to get 2 lines, and I've just cut it so that way it looks like this. Let me get that window out of the way. Let me submit. And there we go. It's something of a pain in the metaphorical posterior, but we have finished it. And all with IDA free. I don't know what tool they expected you to use. Ghidra finally got the stuff downloaded and then found out, oh, you need Java or JDK 17. So that was downloading onto the box itself. And it looks like that finished. And apparently we timed out. Dang it. bugger all. Bugger all. But, so, did this stop? Of course, this still says 3 minutes and 3 seconds. Nope, apparently timed out because I did not sit there and smack on the add extra time. Although this has taken a good amount of time, and it looks like we're almost at an hour of recording. Yeah, the disassembly stuff is just a pain in the posterior. But like if we take this, and this is from yesterday's recording of DLL Stealer, which I don't need those open anymore. It's like, what does this show up as? 5 hours ago, 43 out of 67. When was it first? First submission in the wild was 2023, so it's been over a year. Wow, the fact that this isn't entirely maxed out is a little bit concerning, but who doesn't? Really? CrowdStrike doesn't? Supposedly Cyber doesn't? And we were reading about Cyber on this one? Whatever. So, in typical fashion, hopefully you learned something. If not, you joined me in a frustrating, well, what will amount to about an hour. But I've probably got 2 or 3 just basically just beating the head against the wall, digging through everything. So, I mean, not bad for somebody who hasn't had to do a whole heck of a lot in terms of reversing at this particular level. Usually you just throw the crap in a sandbox and just see what spits out. But not bad. And everything picks it up. Well, the more important aspects ones do. But so I'll get all this together. Excuse me. Not enough coffee yet. Including some of the more what I can dig through interesting articles for the Royal ransomware. We'll add them into the video description and go forth and enjoy. And I mean, it's too late to get your name on the top 10 of the leaderboard there for this particular exercise. But if you get stuck, maybe something I've talked about will allow you to actually go through and get it completed. And you can take that badge for yourself. All that being said, I will see everybody in the next video.